Channel 5. Okay, Channel 5. Fine. Get off my back. Channel 5. NRA conference. Let's go. I haven't seen this one. I wanted to watch it off stream, but then I remembered that I have a stream. What's up, dude? Yeehaw, brother.
See, with our ARs, we're citizens. Without them, we'll be slaves. They're not assault weapons. They're sporting weapons. It's necessary to protect my family.
That's such a cope argument from cons, dude. What? They're not sporting with their weapons. What do you mean? Like, I don't understand why they do that. Like, they're like, yeah, dude, they're not for killing people. They're for defending. Also, fight the government. You know, like, just own it. You know.
From tyrannical government.
Why do you think there are so many mass shootings?
Because that's what's on the agenda for the left. They want to take guns away from law-abiding citizens.
Protesters pushed up against barricades, keeping them away from the NRA meeting site. It's tense. The pain of a national tragedy does not bridge divides here.
When was a shooter a member of the NRA? I want you to tell me. You can't, because it never happened and it never will. You're an idiot.
I believe you have...
Damn, that kid's passionate. Stupid argument, though. The NRA is responsible for a fuck ton of legislation in Washington. They're not as wealthy now, but they have lobbied on the order of millions of dollars to push for a lack of gun control to prevent the CDC from studying gun crime, stuff like that. And like, it doesn't matter whether or not the shooter is a member of the NRA. What matters is like the effect that they've had on the gun laws of this country.
Have the right to own a firearm, but I do not believe you should be 18 years old to be able to have an AR. When you use an AR, you're going to kill people. You don't go hunting for deer with an AR.
When the founding fathers defined freedom, they didn't think that ARs were going to be part of it.
Or black people.
Yeah.
Or people of color.
People of color.
And how about freedom? They want to talk about how we shouldn't ban guns because that's hurting our freedom. How about abortion? We're forcing women to have kids.
I see you have an Antifa flag right here. How would you describe yourself politically?
I'd say I'm a socialist. So I believe in taxing the church, taxing the rich, abolish the police. Police are supposed to protect us in schools, right? But in Uvalde, they didn't. When I get older, like old enough, 21, I'm gonna own a firearm because I don't trust police to solve my cases.
Marx said in his Communist Manifesto that we should arm the proletariat. Just arm the proletariat to ensure that they're able to defend themselves.
God damn it, I want to argue against them, but I know chat's going to be annoying about it. I'm just going to watch.
Sign asks a pretty obvious question that I think everybody should be asking. This is the right time to have a celebration of guns right on the heels of more than a dozen kids and teachers getting murdered a few days ago in Uvalde. This is ridiculous that we're the only country that has to deal with this, and that's what today is all about, is voicing our righteous outrage at our elected officials and the people at the NRA.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't argue because there's a decent chance that
Don't trust police to solve.
there's a decent chance these two are my fans. I don't know. The Antifa flag guy's Hassan fan, Vosh. Well, any person, like any random lefty at a protest is like 4 times as likely to be a Hassan fan as a my fan, right? Just due to relative like audience sizes. Wrong click. There you go.
Elected officials and the people at the NRA who decided to celebrate guns with blood on their hands today.
This time at an elementary school in Uvalde, Texas.
We've just learned the death toll is up to 19 children and 2 school employees gunned down.
Did you hear that thing about how 2 of the kids from Uvalde, 2 of the 10-year-olds are going to be buried next to each other because they were like boyfriend and girlfriend? Like one of their last texts was one of them said, I love you to the other one. They're going to be buried together. What the fuck?
During their last week of school.
The shooter legally purchased 2 AR variant long guns within a week of his 18th birthday.
Dude up there is tossing magazines out to the crowd. Give me one.
You got it.
We're here. We're in Houston. We're at the NRA convention. I think the mayor asked this not to happen. The governor pulled out, but it's still going down.
Shooting an RPG is the ultimate Vegas poker experience. It seems like a great idea at the time. It's really, really expensive, and it's over way too fast. An RPG is a rocket-propelled grenade, so anything that launches that, they either call an RPG for short or a rocket launcher. Within the past couple of months, Airtronic did sell off about 30 of our older models.
I've said this before, but my main problem with guns in the United States is demonstrated by any gun meetup or any like gun event or community, and it's that they're all psychopaths. gun culture in the United States is so insane that people outside the US legitimately can't fathom it unless they've seen like direct evidence of its existence. You have no fucking idea. It like guns by gun freaks in the US are like treated the same way that like porn addicts treat porn. It like there's an insane fucking weird Freudian obsession. It's so strange. It's so strange. It's not. It's freaky. It really is freaky. And it's not even about the guns past a point. I think it's about the sense of power that it gives them, which is different from like every other sport in existence. You know, like no skateboarding aficionado goes to a skateboarding conference where people are like, yeah, I've collected 8,000 skateboards, and like this one like makes me feel like a man, and like, you know, this one you know, this one over here is such a beaut, ain't she? And then they like cradle it, and anytime people talk about not liking skateboarding, they fucking, I don't know, dude. There's some weird shit. Just move
Through
on.
gun broker. So there's a lot of these in civilian hands now, and people are enjoying them. Remember, American made.
Based.
This is a MR 762A1. I don't know anything.
Wait, RPGs are legal? Are you not an American? Do you not know?
About guns, so I don't know what the hell this is. I'm pretty sure this is a gun. This is a gun.
I'm a big NRA proponent. I'm a life member. The timing sucks, but I mean, it is what it is.
The timing sucks. This is like 2 days after Uvalde, or 3 days or something.
This doesn't have anything to, there's no connection between this and what happened in Uvalde. There just isn't.
What do you think that we can do to stop
camera work.
I think it goes back to the basic family. I'm 66 years old. When I was in high school, we used to take our shotguns to high school to show our coaches if we got a new shotgun. Then we'd go bird hunting after school. There was never a school shooting when I was in high school. What's different from then to now? What's changed?
What do you think changed?
It's the family. Look how many single parent families there are. Just go to Chicago. Look at the amount.
Wait, if it's single parent families, then why are white people the ones overrepresented in the school shootings when black people are the ones overrepresented in the single parent households? Like it's like overwhelmingly white people who do the mass shootings.
Kind of crime in Chicago. I mean, they have 40, 50 gun shootings a weekend.
I guess the difference would be that, like, in Chicago, a lot of that violence is gang-related. We're talking about kind of lone wolf shooters walking into an elementary school with an AR-15.
It's troubled kids. I'm not a big gamer, but, I mean, I've seen a lot of the video games, and there's a lot of them that are just shoot them up, blow them up, you know. It doesn't look real.
Yeah.
Yes! That's what I'm talking about. That's that classic old school boomer deflection that I know and love. Oh, that's beautiful. In its purest form, unironic.
So how do you think we can rebuild the American family?
That's got to be done at the street level. Single parents are running 30-40% of the households. It takes two people to raise a kid.
Why does anybody need to have, you know, an AR-15?
Guns have been around here since the beginning of America. So,
but back in the day, it was like muskets and stuff.
It doesn't matter. You know, nowhere in the Constitution does say.
You have to stop this right now. You have to go across the street, please.
What do you think about like increased background checks?
I think the background checks is adequate now.
Hey, right there, exit, please, across the street.
What do you think could have been done to what happened in Uvalde a few days ago?
Oh, we could have banned assault weapons 20 years ago.
The murder at Uvalde, Texas, will tell everyone that we need to have gun under control. We don't take guns away.
What accent is that? I don't know that accent. What accent is that?
From people, but we have to have a proper background check.
Is it Vietnamese? Okay, yeah.
That is the only way we can avoid these kind of murders of children. You cannot say, well, we hire police or these are mental people. Abbott, he said that there's a mental problems with the United States.
Anybody who shoots somebody else has a...
Oh, here, how to legally own a fully operational rocket-propelled grenade. Easy answer, it's a Class 3 destructive device. Just apply for the tax stamp and find a dealer that has one for sale. Oh, there you go, guys. You just need the tax stamp. Let me see. Class 3 destructive device tax stamp. How to get a Class 3 stamp through the ATF. $200. Let's see. Okay. So this allows you machine guns, sawed-off shotguns. Requirements: issuance of a tax 3-step. Prove that you're eligible. Fill out an ATF form. You can't have a felony. No felonies. Fill out ATF form 5330.20. Wait 120 days for the background check and processing to be confirmed. Yeah, okay, there you go. Just in case any of you all want a goddamn operational RPG. How much do those cost? Cost of RPG. Huh. At $2,500. What about a reload? RPG grenade. About $500 a pop? I could afford that. What do you think, guys? 400K stream? Oh, hell, thank you.
Mental health challenge.
What about the rest of the world? Do they have mental problems too? No, they don't, right? So that's why we are here.
It's better that the government knows that people do have ARs. Governments have killed 260 million people in the 20th century. You know, Stalin, Mao, whatever. People say, oh, that'll never happen here. We all live in a bubble. We are the most privileged country on earth. From the homeless guys here to fucking Bill Gates. Hot crap, where's I going with this? What was I gonna say? Okay, governments, this, that. Okay, you know who EDP is?
Yeah.
I'm the guy that caught him.
Wait, you're the guy who caught
What?
EDP?
Yeah.
So how
What?
do you think that we can prevent mass
What?
shootings like the one?
Guy that caught him.
Wait, you're the guy who caught EDP?
Yeah.
So how do you think that we can prevent mass shootings like the one that occurred a couple days ago?
The lore. The lore deepens. This guy is a massive piece of shit, right? Oh yeah, this guy's mega racist. You can tell because white people who look like that. No, I shouldn't say that.
The reality is, there's Salvador Ramos
Oh, he's a pedo too? Wait, so they're both pedos?
is out there. The reality is, there's Peyton, whatever the hell his name was, Adam Lanza, yada yada. People will be uncomfortable if there's teachers armed in schools.
Yeah, we need more guns around the schools. We protect our president with guns. We protect our congressmen with guns. We protect our governors with guns, our celebrities, sporting events, jewelry stores, banks. And then we protect our children with a sign that says, this is a gun-free zone.
I see that you have Rosa Parks here. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I met Rosa Parks. She's anti-abortion. She's a good friend to MLK. He's anti-abortion. He was.
Do you ever watch Channel 5 videos and feel like it's over? Like there's no way to overcome the collective brain damage of the United States? Like it's just it's like completely tainted.
It's anti-abortion. So, case closed.
I see that you have 2 Mike Lindell My Pillows attached to your belt loops on either side.
Yeah, Mike's a friend of mine. I've only met him once in person, but he knows what I've been doing for him.
He sounds like a good friend.
Yeah, he's a good friend, and this is a little bit more firm, and they're the best pillows I've ever had.
Which one do you prefer?
I prefer the softer one, the medium fill. The standard's a little tough on my neck.
Did you enjoy his pillows prior to his endorsement of Donald Trump?
Well, they've been around for a long time. I couldn't afford them. He cut the price in half now. Here's a tip. Don't order them through the mail, because they come wrapped up with no box. Go to Walmart, get them in a box. The box is going to be worth more than the pillow.
Why?
Because it's classic. I'm getting ready to go over to the communists that are packing guns.
Do you think it's smart to engage with them?
I screamed profanity at them and it made them angry. They can't tolerate freedom of speech, but they expect me to tolerate them threatening me.
What is your favorite piece of profanity to hurl at an Antifa BLM soldier?
Fat baby butcher bitches. Fat.
Fuck, that should be a dono sound, shouldn't it? Fat baby butcher bitches. That's good. That's good, dude. There's no answer to that one. That's fucking good right there. Jesus Christ.
Baby butcher bitches.
Well, you're gonna go do it again?
Yeah, I'm gonna go do it again.
So wait, are the Antifa guys fat, or is it the babies that are fat? Like they're the butcher? Are they fat butchers of babies, or are they the butchers of fat babies? Unclear.
All right, well, I'll see you over there, man. Don't let those Antifa communist bastards take your pillows away. Godspeed, soldier. You're doing the right thing.
I had 150 of them screaming in my face on the 14th of this month. I met Rosa Parks. I don't give a fuck. You don't know shit. You don't either. Look at you, dumbass, and you're proud of your stupidity. You fucking fascist piece of shit.
Ooh! Ooh! Capture the flag!
Do you think there's any type of common ground that could be reached?
Yeah, there's a little give. I think they could change some of the requirements to own an AR. You know, back in the old days, we didn't have the same type of weapons. So they could change the law and make it 21.
Do you think that kid should have been able to buy an AR?
I don't know. Somebody worked on the kid's brain. They worked.
So the answer here would have been red flag laws, right? Or something like that. There were already like a lot of reports on that kid who did the Uvalde shooting. Like that probably would have caught it, right? They would have done that, and they would have been like, "Hey, you're sussy wussy," and then they wouldn't have been able to buy the guns. That seems pretty fair, you know.
Done that one in Buffalo also. He drove 300 miles to shoot black people at a store. He probably could have drove a few miles within the city he was already in.
I guess the main difference is like the dude in Buffalo was motivated by like racial hatred, whereas it seems like the guy.
It was only racial hatred because the guy was white.
I think he had the N-word written on the gun, and he published like a big manifesto talking about.
Abortions, you motherfuckers had. Well, that's what they're telling us. Fuck you. I don't know the facts because I hadn't seen them. We are done with your.
So I feel like this is actually like the standard Republican kind of, you know, like. The average Republican won't just say shit like, I think it was good that the Buffalo shooter killed 10 black people or whatever, but like they'll do shit like this, you know, where they're like, oh yeah, well they say that, you know, you don't really know. But like the consistent logical interpretation of their beliefs at the end of the day is that like no evidence of racism will convince them that it's a problem, meaning that they have an infinite tolerance for racism, meaning that functionally they are as racist as the party needs them to be to defend their behavior. I don't think this guy is actively racist in the sense that he actively wishes for like black people to die or whatever. He might be actively racist in other ways, but not in that way specifically. But I think that when like the body politic that he's a part of wants black people to die, he will be as accepting of it as is necessary. And there are very few outs to that. Like there are very few points where he would look at what's going on and see the waters rising and go like, oh, this is fucked, and then leave, you know? Yeah, he literally said that he drove 300 miles to shoot black people and then didn't say that it was because of racism. When the guy had the N-word in his gun and said it was put out a manifesto saying it was because he doesn't like black people. You know, like, yeah. So a useful idiot? Not so much a useful idiot as like a useful person whose brain is more like a useful brainwashed person, I guess. It's not even an intelligence thing. It's because it's not like a lack of cognitive ability. That's the issue here. It's like a deliberate and trained, like blind eye.
You're bullshit. Why would this kid put a manifesto together anyway?
Chuck Schumer.
What? Why would a shooter put together a manifesto? Okay.
Didn't want us to pass laws to protect schools. He doesn't want cops in schools. He doesn't want to harden the target. He wants your kids to be killed. That's why the Democrats advocate for murdering children in the womb. They don't care about life.
This kid's very invested in this particular subject because he's still within the legal age range to be aborted in California.
The NRA has a fucking thing to do with it, you idiot. When did the NRA kill somebody? You're an idiot.
Oh,
I know who you are. Dude, what the heck? I want to talk to you. Yes.
Oh yeah, cool. So how do you feel about what's going on?
Okay, wait. Over under on this dude being a groiper. Internet knowledgeable young white guy screaming at a protest, you know?
Now put them over there.
I don't not like them. They're human beings. I love everybody. Okay, they have souls. You're
Oh, never mind. He loves everyone. He's a Justin Lee Peterson fan.
an idiot. But it's just sad because they're confused. Yeah. The problem isn't the guns. The problem is a people problem, okay? Ever since 1973, we legalized abortion. I think that was a real downfall in American society because we've murdered millions of children. Why is it okay to murder children in the womb, but not okay to...
So wait, hold on. In 1973, we didn't legalize abortion. We just gave... The Supreme Court just enabled constitutional protections to its access. Abortions were happening before 1973 in America. It depended on the state and whether or not they were legal before then, right? How many states had legal abortion before Roe versus Wade? Like legal, like, you know, like in blue states or whatever. Like how... Less than 20? I don't know how common it was back then.
To murder kids in school. I know this isn't your usual thing. You usually just let people talk, but I want to listen to what you think.
Well, I'm curious if you think there's any common ground that can be found between...
See, that's a very complicated thing to talk about, and I think there is room for that, okay?
Sorry, wait, I think I missed something.
We'll talk, but I want to listen to what you think.
Well, I'm curious if you think there's any common ground that can be found between...
See, that's a very complicated thing to talk about, and I think there is room for that, okay?
Wait, did I miss something? People in chat...
But not okay to murder kids in school. I know this isn't your usual thing. You usually just let people talk, but I want to listen to what you think.
Well, I'm curious if you think there's any common ground that...
No more go back? What the fuck?
I think that was a real downfall in American society because we've murdered millions of children. Why is it okay to murder children in the womb, but not okay to murder kids in school? I know this isn't your usual thing.
Oh, okay, there we go. Nice.
You usually just let people talk, but I want to listen to what you think.
Well, I'm curious if you think there's any common ground that can be found between...
See, that's a very complicated thing to talk about, and I think there is room for that, okay? I think we can have...
He actually asked that? Yeah, this is like the moral compass of conservatives. It just reminds me so much of when you talk to conservatives and they're like, yeah, like, if without God, how do you even have morals? And they're basically just telling you that they would, like, rape children if it weren't for the fact they thought they would go to hell for it, you know? Like, because, like, that's it, right? If your only moral word comes from a punitive religious system, you're kind of indicating that you don't have a strong intuitive grasp on the whole subject.
Mental health evaluations, and I think, what was it, Dad? What was the statistics like for the adult population?
It's about 25% of the adult population in America suffer from some form of mental illness.
Yeah. I think people in general should be evaluated and should have help. Whenever you go into a gun store, I have to fill out a paperwork called a 4473 and say, hey, they're going to run a background check. This 4473, this document, it's a document to look at your background, okay? It's not going to know the heart of man. We need to better keep up with the health of our people because we're suffering people, okay? We have more access to hardcore porn on the internet, whittling down.
Dude, why is it always like they get halfway to sounding reasonable? I was thinking like, oh, he understands that we like probably should invest more in our mental health. He's like, no, okay, wait, hold on. You can see tits online. It's like, oh, okay.
Down the psyche of humans and literally making us just sick people. You can't legislate morality and you can't tell what you are really going to do. But at the end of the day, we live in a free society.
Wait, legislating morality is what conservatives are always trying to do. That's like the main thing they try to do.
And we have these rights and privileges, and that's what happens. You know, they don't have school shootings in China because you can't own firearms in China.
Do you know that the most popular porn category in America right now is incest?
I had no idea, no.
Isn't that insane?
Why? Why is that the case?
Tonight, leggings, shapewear, and handbags came down the runway. But this is no ordinary fashion show.
Discreetly designed so no one can tell that you have a weapon.
The concealed carry fashion show targets what the NRA calls its fastest growing demographic, women.
Okay, wait, that's just cheating. You have it in your purse? Wow, brilliant. It's a purse. What do you... that... it's like... That doesn't take much thought. The difficulty is concealed carrying when you don't have a tote bag on you, you know? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. What? Wait, I thought the baby was gonna have a gun on them, and I was getting ready for that. For that drop. Why was the baby there? If the guy... Okay. Because I was curious, like, how did they fit a gun on this goddamn baby, you know? But then it's the okay. Ah, I see the contrast. Ah, the reality setting in. The rapid crash back to reality. Oops, there goes gravity.
All right, we just arrived in Uvalde, Texas.
This channel really has had a glow up, hasn't it? Can you believe they do this shit like once every 2 weeks? They cover some like modern event, like it's like proper documentary filmmaking, you know? Like it's definitely... I'm really glad this guy didn't just, like, give up after he got fucking gigacucked by the distribution company that loaned him the van for the all gas, no brakes, you know? I'm glad that he kept doing it.
Which, as most people know, is the site of the most recent mass shooting that took place around a week ago, where 19 students and 2 teachers were killed at Robb Elementary School. This is the Wendy's where the shooter worked. Apparently he used to work the graveyard.
Do you think it's weird that cons have a mental link between porn and violence? Nah, I mean, well, conservatives have no capability of understanding nuance as a political, like, necessity. So basically they just think, like, well, if mental illness contributes to gun crime, or like these mass shootings, we have to think what causes mental illness. Well, mental illness is caused by darkened minds, and darkened minds are caused by degeneracy, and degeneracy includes stuff like pornography. And that's it. Like, that's the extent of, like, what they think. That's, like, it. It's not... They don't... Like, I don't want to get all phrenology here, but there have literally been studies that conservatives tend to have different brains that prioritize fear responses and like, an inability to understand nuance. There's, like, an actual cognitive deficiency. But it's not, that's literally been proven. That's not made up. Do they really? Yeah, no, there's literally research on that. That's not a joke. But a lot of that isn't, that's not like genetic or whatever. Like, it's trained, you know? Like, fear responses aren't all ingrained instinct or whatever. It's like you can train that. You can build that up with certain political exposure, you know, some political, it's learned behavior. Yeah. So, fuck, I have a headache. Yeah, it can be nurtured, not always natured. So if you are a conservative, your brain is broken, but you can fix it by not being one. This has happened to people in my community. Guys, how many of you used to be conservatives and now have so much, like, better an understanding of a bunch of social issues that you used to have really, like, knee-jerk responses to? Like, come on, hypers in chat if that's you, right? Like, for a while, like, it was like everything was very simple. There's a very simple response. Like, people just need to do this and then it's solved, you know? And then, like, when you moved out of that mindset, it's like, wait, hold on. There's, like, way more nuance and shit here. Yeah, stuff like that. It's not an inherent thing. But that doesn't, just because it's not inherent, doesn't mean that there isn't a difference, because there is a difference. Yeah. So, yeah. Just
shift at the drive-through window until about 2.5 weeks ago, he quit abruptly once he had saved up about $4,000, which was enough to buy 2 assault rifles, ammunition, and a bulletproof vest. This is the store where the school shooter picked up...
Oh, did he not even get it on loan? I thought he just bought it on credit. All right.
The guns and ammunition that he used in the shooting. He actually ordered the guns online, but this was like a transfer store where they shipped it here and then he picked it up. This is where the shooter drove his pickup truck through a guardrail and crashed out, like right here. Got out of the car, went over to the funeral home here, shot at a few people, but then didn't hit anybody. Then he walked over into this building, and that was the site of all this.
You go to sleep seeing their faces. You wake up seeing their faces. What can we tell them? We don't want to scare them. And the other poor little innocents that didn't make it. You know, their fathers.
The school wasn't even the first target? Nah, dude, the Uvalde shooter basically, like, stayed outside the school and, like, Fortnite floss danced for, like, 20 minutes while cops just sat there, like, crying behind their cars. I forget all the details because my brain is a colander, but, it took a while for him to even go inside. It was such a shit show.
Parents were going crazy looking for them. Wasn't sure they're in a lot of pain.
And my husband was here getting the mail when he heard gunshots, but he's having a hard time because he just wished he could have done something to prevent it. Our community will never be the same.
Si decimos que no hemos pecado, le hacemos a él mentiroso y su palabra no está en nosotros. Amen. 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 Amen.
The really fucked up thing is that, you know, especially since there were a lot of Hispanic people in this community, you know, I swear to God, the victims and the families of the victims of this shooting are way the fuck more Christ-like than the Bible-thumping NRA dipshits who are going like, well, maybe they should have had less single families, you know. like invariably in response to situations like this, you will always see far better family values coming out from the victims than the defenders of the perpetrators, or even people politically associated with the perpetrators.
She loved Guns N' Roses. She loved that song, Sweet Child of Mine.
She's a beautiful little girl. I liked her song. That was her favorite song. She loved Guns N' Roses, and she would
hundreds of thousands of people.
She would dance around her room singing "Sweet Child of Mine."
I love this country, and I'm so grateful for everything it's given me and all the opportunity that I recognize I wouldn't have if I was somewhere else. That's not lost on me. And at the same time, this should encourage us to want to be better. Or not.
Think AR should be banned?
Fuck yes. There is absolutely no reason for that.
Mind you, I have a pistol, but I don't think that a semi-automatic weapon is necessary in our country. I just don't see the need.
A pistol is a semi-automatic weapon, and unless you're using a very old pistol, but yeah.
I don't see the purpose. I think in this case...
She's old. No, I know. I'm just correcting for the purpose of the chat. Come on, guys. I'm just No, chat. That, Don't hate in her flintlock, yeah. No, she's completely right. She just has, like, a fucking... The Blackbeard flintlock, like, chest strap, you know? With the powder and the shot and everything. Badass.
I know the bodies of the children were shredded as a result of that. What do we need that for? I don't understand it.
They say that like having those high capacity assault rifles are the final line of defense against a tyrannical government.
Oh please. I think we're already facing a tyrannical government when we have things like this happen. Well, there's no excuse for this. I don't care what they say. They're wrong.
Unless it happens to one of their own, then they're not going to do anything. You know, and Ted Cruz, he's a sorry person for a position that he holds. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. But we're not supposed to say anything? If he can say what he wants, I can say what I want. They should have rushed in. That's their job. What, almost an hour before they decided to do anything? No, that's unheard of. It really is.
Breaking news in the investigation into the school shooting tonight. Texas DPS is telling us the Uvalde CISD police chief has not been cooperating with investigators. On Friday, DPS Director Steve McGraw said the school district police chief was the incident commander at Robb Elementary School who made the call to wait to take down the gunman.
If they had, they would probably save several of those lives. It's ridiculous.
But this is fucking bullshit. Like, this is preventable, and this is absolutely unacceptable.
Okay, not to like try to out-edge the content here or whatever, but I feel like I've heard a lot of stories of disgraced public officials shooting themselves in the head after like massive fuck-ups, and I have to say that I'm actually amazed nothing from the Uvalde Police Department has turned out that way. Like, I'm not even making any prescriptive statements. I'm just saying that statistically speaking, you know, you'd feel like after this, I don't know.
When we talk about how great this country is, this is unacceptable.
Unfortunately, like so many things, in a couple more months it'll blow over like this never happened, you know?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think this is going to blow over anytime soon.
Then the audacity of the people that went to the NRA convention in Houston, for them to say that they don't need to make any changes? What's wrong with them?
Yeah. Thank you, first recommendation. Don't worry, it's about video games. These are really good mini-films.